Meeting come to order. Dr. Versa.
Good evening, board members and staff and family and community of Southwest. Welcome back from spring break, and I'd like to start this meeting by introducing Ms. Janice Hernandez, who's going to lead us in our invocation, followed by the pledge of allegiances, and then we're going to have a moment of praise tonight in honor of our former student who's going through
Okay. Thank you for every seat that has been filled here today. For each mind and heart that feels the presence of this room, we thank you. Only you truly know what we are setting out to accomplish today. We have an idea, a vision, hints, and daily instructions. We have talents, abilities, and time to work. However, only you, Lord, can see in a perfect detail the end of every beginning, every project, every season, every life. Nothing is ever in vain, for even mistakes and missteps are used for good. Bless this meeting today, all those present, as well as the lives of those we will encounter afterward. Ready us to make every moment count. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. We would also like to have a moment of silence for Joseph D. Cerda. Joseph is a former Southwest High School student who was recently the victim of a hit-and-run driver. Cerda is a senior second baseman of the Savage Storm and was struck following an Arkansas game. Joseph is currently at the UAMS Medical Center in Little Rock in critical condition. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, the next thing on the agenda is recognitions.
Yes, sir. So I was saying earlier, this is our attempt to show you we need a bigger boardroom. But we are going to recognize some of our really great students that we have in our district, and we're also going to recognize some of the phenomenal teachers, educators that we have in Southwest ISD. And to start that off, I'll turn it over to Ms. Hernandez, and we'll begin with recognition.
Okay. So our first recognition of the night is with Sky Harbor Elementary. We would like to recognize an amazing student leader, Saul Delgado. Saul Delgado is a fifth grade and proud bilingual learner. Saul is the student council president, member of the school safety patrol, leads the school with the most points in Imagine Math, and plays a major role in the Dolphin drama production of Willy Wonka Jr. Saul has set a goal of attending Texas A&M University to earn a degree in food science and technology, and later would like to attend the Culinary Institute of America. He would like to become a famous chef and one day own his own restaurant, and plans on going back to Sky Harbor to inspire other students to follow their dream. Saul strives to excel in all areas, and we are extremely proud of him. Congratulations. Our next student recognition is with McNair Middle School. They would like to recognize 8th grader Haley Laffler. Haley was the Spelling Bee champ for 2018-19 competition. Haley leads the campus with the most on-grade level lessons passed on Imagine Math. She currently has completed 334 lessons. Haley has received the Valley High Optimist Award and the Principal's Award this year. Haley is in honors ELAR and algebra, part of the National Junior Honor Society. The jazz band participated in the Middle School Science Bowl and is earning a high school credit for PE through online course. Haley likes to volunteer at Community Bible School and is a buddy in our life skills classroom. She plans to attend Stanford University and would like to become a neurosurgeon. Congratulations.
By the way, congratulations for doing it.
Okay. Then we have another recognition today. We're going to recognize our Olympic Fiesta poster winner, Barbara Bompa. Barbara is a senior at Southwest High School, and this is her first year at Southwest. She intends to attend UTSA as an art major. In her free time, she enjoys sketching and drawing landscapes and faces. Her favorite classes are art and forensic science. Her hobbies are going out to eat, shopping, and going to the movies. She has 2 brothers, 1 stepsister, and 2 stepbrothers. And Dr. Verstoff has the award-winning artwork.
Are you going to keep that to yourself, or may we see it? Thank you, sir.
So we're always very proud of our Students of the Month, and we also have our poster maker up here, who did an exceptional job on that. Would our parents please stand up so we can recognize our parents of these students who are doing really, really good. We'd also like to ask our principals of these students, would you please stand up representing your campuses, because we know we hire great students and great principals. So if you want to- You don't have to stay up there any longer.
All right. Our next recognitions are our Teachers of the Year. We are going to start off with Big Country Elementary School's David Perez. As we call your name, we're going to ask everyone to line up for a picture.
I asked David, would you like the certificate or a check?
Next up, we have Maria Batella, who could not be here tonight. Then, so we're going to move on to Elm Creek Elementary School's Nora Sekula. Next, Hidden Cove Elementary School's Catherine Blash. Next up, Creewald Road Elementary School's Elisa Prieto. Next up, Meadow Creek Elementary School's Viola Bobby. Up next, Spicewood Park Elementary School's Laura David. Up next, Sun Valley Elementary School's Sarah Maciel. Up next, McCullough Middle School, Araceli Casiano. Araceli could not be here with us tonight, so we have McNair Middle School's Matthew Martinez, who also could not be with us tonight. Next is Resnick Middle School's Gilbert Sanchez. We also have Scobie Middle School's Elizabeth Griego, who could not, oh, she's right here. There she is. All right.
Hard work.
Next, Crossroads Center, Tony Davison. So next we have one of our finalists for District of the Year Elementary selection, Indian Creek Elementary School's Yolanda Garza. Our second elementary finalist was with Southwest Elementary School, Stephanie Hernandez. Our secondary finalist with CASTEM, Jose de Hoyos.
Congratulations, great work.
Our second secondary finalist with Southwest Legacy High School, James Jewell.
Thanks for all your hard work.
And our elementary district teacher of the year, Sky Harbor Elementary School's Carl Dickerson.
Thanks for all your hard work.
And our secondary district teacher of the year with Southwest High School, Michael Sandoval.
You got your own fan club. Congratulations.
Maybe y'all can step down a little bit in the front row. Step down in the front. There you go. There we go. Good job, John. Good job, sir. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Congratulations.
That'll put the white on each end. That'll put the white on each end. See, well, that would look good for the picture, see? Hey. I could be a photographer. Photo op.
Smile and 1, 2, 3. You can bubble. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Come on.
One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Family or principals want to take a picture?
Good. I just want to say, we have some pretty phenomenal teachers in our school district. So to be named, selected, going through the process at your campus and to be part of this group, if you don't feel special, you should feel special because we do have some of the best, I think, in the state of Texas and in the nation. And you guys, I know a lot of you standing up here, you are a great representation of the greatness that we have in our school district. I want to thank you for everything you do, all the lives that you've changed, and for everything that you will continue to do for our community, for our students, and for the future. It's huge. So thank you for being Teachers of the Year, and thank you for going above and beyond each and every day. You got a certificate and a check today. Those folks who didn't show up, we're going to keep their check. If we have any family members of our Teachers of the Year, would you please stand? Any spouses, children, anybody? This is the only ceremony we hand out money, so congratulations. Let's take them out for a stage.
Did I hear something about a check?
Yeah, you can leave. Yeah.
You giving away checks?
Yeah, we have one more. So our next recognition is a very special recognition. It is a friend of Southwest. A friend of Southwest is someone who dedicates their time and makes a difference to our Southwest community. And this is a recognition we usually give out during convocation, but this year we're going to do something a little different and recognize these folks here at our board meetings. So we would like to recognize Pamela Toman. Pamela began working on Literacy San Antonio as the founding chair of a signature project of the Junior League of San Antonio. In 2010, she managed a series of assessments, community planning, and the formation of an independent nonprofit organization formed to support the SA Reads program. Pamela's background includes corporate management and international marketing at Sun Microsystems, Inc., as well as management consulting at Anderson Consulting in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Pamela also has served on the Texas Interagency Literacy Council and the San Antonio Commission on Literacy. Her employees call her their fearless leader, as she has let nothing keep her from implementing the research and practices required to getting children to reading proficiency. She will never, never, never give up on the SA Reads mission and has been successful on bridging the gap between the latest literacy research and classroom implementation. Time and time again, she has said and proven that her tireless dedication is all for the benefit of our children. Congratulations.
I want to show the board, since Pamela is the first one we're doing this, this is an activity we would always do at convocation. And we thought it would be good to recognize folks along the year. Ms. Tolman is a soldier, and she adopted Southwest ISD over 7 years ago in an effort to increase and build professional development and tutoring around literature and reading in our school district. And she holds an event at the end of every year for our parents. We bus them over to the Omni out there on I-10. They do a special culminating event at the end of the year event. And she is just a tremendous person. She's highly involved in taking reading to another level. I think I told senior staff this morning that I don't think Pamela's ever going to quit until our third graders are reading at 11th grade level at the end of third grade. She believes in Southwest ISD. She believes in our teachers and our staff. So what we have on here is a representation of that oak tree that we keep in our boardroom. And Pamela's getting a leaf, and then Pamela's name will go on a leaf on that tree as a legacy artifact to our school district. And she gets to say something and hopefully say that you're the first with this new change. And so thank you for everything you do, Pamela. You're a tremendous person and you do tremendous things. Congratulations. I do believe that concludes our recognitions this evening. However, Pamela is actually part of the board meeting tonight. She has an item of information. Jade, I believe, in our agenda. And if we can just let her kind of roll into that, because she would also like to introduce us to some teachers who are doing tremendous professional development opportunities, the trainer of trainers. And so I'd like to turn it over. Do you want to do it now?
We can do it now. I think Renee and I are.
Renee?
Yes. Yes, so, again, as we are recognizing Ms. Pamela Tolman and SA Reads with the work that we've been able to do, Mr. Frazier, members of the board, we are so blessed with having the support from SA Reads. And along with that, SA Reads and Pamela Tolman and her team, we've been able to just re-energize the work that we are doing in K1 and 2. And we've been able to send our teachers through some really arduous training. And this training is going to just really change the things that we are doing in kinder, first and second, and even up until the middle schools and even the high school. So once again, thank you. And with that, we want to just give you some background information as far as what we are celebrating today and also the teachers that we're going to celebrate with this work that we are doing. Thank you.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? I've been recovering from my spring break flu. That was fun. Thank you all very much. I'm completely overwhelmed. Thank you. That's such a surprise, and I'll have to get a little emotional, and then I'll get it together and we'll go. Because it has been an enormous pleasure to work with you all for 7 years. I have learned more than I can explain, but I want to say that in summarizing our relationship for 7 years, we have been able to invest $1 million in the district over that time. We've been able to work closely with all 11 elementary schools. And this is the only district in Bexar County that has stepped up to the challenge of allowing us to learn and work together to try to significantly and permanently raise reading outcomes for children. And there's just all kinds of media coming out now on a national level that this is really going to change when we change the way we teach children in the classroom. So we're going to talk a lot about what that looks like. But over our 7 years, in a nutshell, we started in 2012. Dr. Verstuff, the first time I met him, gave me a pin, which I'm wearing tonight. And we started tutoring children and doing data sharing between the district. And then we have a book bank where we get books and we give those to children. So over the course of those years, that tutoring program has grown, and those tutors are pre-service teachers at Texas A&M San Antonio who are now learning to become reading teachers. But in 2017, and I don't see Miss Nail here, but anybody from Spicewood Park, the Spicewood Park team can stand up, because they allowed us to pilot what would happen in their classrooms and with their kids if we were able to change the way the classroom instruction happened. And Renee came and did a lot of weekly professional development to help teachers understand what that teaching needs to look like. So the results we were so pleased with them, and we were able to bring in members of the community and Dr. Verstuff to observe this instruction. And this year we were able to take it out to all 11 campuses and hire the Letters organization to come in and do the training. These are really powerful national trainers that come in, and they see all kinds of schools and districts all over the country all the time. And I can tell you they've never seen anything like what they see here at Southwest ISD. It's phenomenal. So we started that effort this year, and we'll give you a little bit more information, because that's where I think we're doing some groundbreaking work together. Just in a nutshell, over the last 7 years, we have run almost 2,000 pre-service teachers through the district working with the kids. And you'll see about midway through, the numbers started to climb because the faculty at Texas A&M were so happy with the experience that their students were getting that they added another course to it. These are specifically literacy instruction courses for undergraduates, and they're getting 15% of their grade by working with children at Southwest ISD. So that's a pretty innovative system, and it's fully integrated into your 11 campuses. We wouldn't be able to do it without Maricela Rodriguez and the elementary librarians who coordinate all of those pre-service teachers every semester as they come in and work with the children. So I did want to recognize Maricela Rodriguez and the elementary librarians for the work that you do. Thank you. The book bank that we have back at our offices, and I will be sure all of you get an invitation to come visit our office, is it's kind of a magical place. And over the years, we've been able to, through our partnership with Barnes & Noble and their holiday book drive, we've received 50,000 brand new books. And many of those books go directly to your children to build their home libraries. We have a partnership with San Antonio Public Library Foundation. Those little pre-K kinder books, they've come in and gone to the bilingual program because they're beautiful board books. Your teachers are able to come to our book bank and self-select books for their classroom libraries. And we have a partnership with the National Book Rich Environment that has also provided books directly from publishers that we've been able to distribute to the families. That was with the help of Maricela and the librarians at the Trunk or Treat last October, and they're going to bring more this year. So lots of books. We like lots of books, but we know that books don't actually teach children to read. Teachers teach children to read. And so we have started our 5 years to full literacy plan. We're wrapping up year 1 right now, and we were able to gather the data, purchase the materials, and begin the professional development. And through that effort, we certified 35 trainers of teachers. And those trainers of teachers, many of them are here today that we will recognize in a moment, but they will then go on to continue the training in their campuses so that all teachers will be skilled reading instructors based on modern brain research and reading research. So going into this year 2, we will align and restart and continue these strategic interventions. But this is really where I call on you all to understand that this kind of systemic change requires leadership and it requires time. So we are so grateful for your leadership in this and support as we go through it. And we believe deeply that it's going to pay major dividends in terms of children's reading outcomes. We believe the science and we believe in your teachers. So we just need to provide the support and watch what happens. And what I believe will happen then is we will showcase all of this to other districts in our city so that they can learn how you did this and we can then take it out beyond Southwest.
And I just want to add the training that the teachers received, that was in addition to Bonnie Robinson, Vicki Mata, and myself, along with 3 to 4 teachers from every elementary campus. Went through a week-long training twice. In addition, there was a lot of material that had to be covered on their own and outside of the classroom. And then we had to each take a very rigorous assessment on our knowledge of literacy and skills, and we had to score a 100%. Anything less was not okay. And so these teachers and tots, we studied over Thanksgiving, over Christmas, many texts and emails back and forth. They really worked hard, but what they learned is what we want them, or what we wish they would have learned in the university, what I wish I would have learned at that university level. And unfortunately, not all of our teachers come prepared with those knowledge and skills in order to teach our students to that level of reading that we hope all students receive. So it was a fantastic opportunity, and what they learned, they can now turn around and teach other teachers on their campus as well.
Yeah, so basically they will be bridging this deep research into practical classroom instruction, and it will give all of the teachers in all of the schools, and this is actually, ultimately it can be K through 12. It's not limited to first, second, or third. We want to start where the kids start and build up. But they will be able to address the needs of every student, not just a subset of students, because this kind of training gives them that kind of skill. And it's regardless of any literacy programs. It's really a knowledge, so all the programs that are already in place in the district are just going to be, support for this effort. I have on the bottom here that this is really funded specifically by the City of San Antonio and Bexar County. They very much want to see a model district turn their reading outcomes around, and so they are funding this kind of professional development and this change management, and they are monitoring and measuring on a monthly and quarterly basis the results. So we provide a lot of detailed feedback to them, and they're super excited about what y'all are doing. So these are just a few photographs from the training, and we got a lot of great comments and feedback from the teachers who participated. There were 35 tots. There were 3 other teachers that participated, and then in February we had a whole group of almost 40 or more kindergarten and first grade teachers who participated in the training, and the tots had a chance to deliver. I say TOTS, trainers of trainers, right? They're the ones that have just learned this, and now they're learning to train their teachers. So it's really, really powerful. We will do that exercise one more time in May. A national trainer comes back and helps the TOTS model how to do this, and then they will be good with those modules to redeliver all next year and so on. Next year we'll bring back more national trainers to add more modules, to add more content, but at least we're very solid this year. We're also, for the spring, we're gearing up for the book festival, San Antonio Book Festival. Consider Southwest ISD and the SA Reads Kids VIPs, and you all bus them up there. On April 6th, we have almost 300 children and families signed up to go, and HEB will provide lunch. And as Dr. Verstuff mentioned, we have our end-of-year celebration at the Omni. We would love for you all to join us. I think it's May 29th. Yes, May 29th. We may have a summer camp at the Botanical Garden. They have not confirmed it, but we did that the last couple of years. So I really want to make sure that I give credit to the people who are putting money behind you. And I want you to know these big five are the ones that are super excited about the model you're building. And I can't say enough about that. Do you have any? We couldn't. So I appreciate the award, but I didn't come here to receive an award. I came here with an award for someone else. So there's no way me, who she read my bio, I have no background in education. I have no background in nonprofit, and I have no background in reading instruction. I could not have figured out how to help these teachers and your kids without this woman. This woman is a treasure. When there was an article that I sent you this afternoon that came out in Education Week, Thursday before spring break, that talks about how educators all over the country do not know the research behind how children learn to read. And that's a big problem, because if you don't know it, how do you use it and change anything? But here in your district, you have an actual expert. She knows it. She guided it. You know, we worked together last year to figure out how we would bring these trainers in and systematically build the capacity of your district to drive change over these 5 years. And I just really want to recognize you, Renee, for that. We have our own award. First ever. Yes.
Okay.
It's our first ever, too. That's your award. It's your award.
Do what now?
Thank you. So our final wrap-up then is to call forward all of your trainers of trainers that put all kinds of blood, sweat, and tears, and I know that it's been a lot. Please come forward, the trainers of trainers. We have a gift for you. And in the interest of time, we won't name everybody's name, but we know you, and we appreciate you.
tell them about that. Yeah. Very good.
Gotta get a picture of them. Oh, it's inside. Is he still taking a picture?
I'm just gonna skip over and go directly to it.
Thank you guys so much for being part of this journey, for being the journey, and all the things you're gonna do. It's really elevates reading and alphabetized reading in the future for our children. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you, Renee.
They're gonna all leave anyway.
Gosh, thank you. I love it. I love every single minute of it.
Thank you.
It's just,
Trusting us.
it's gonna be awesome. It's
Yes,
already
it is.
awesome.
Yes,
but
it
it
is.
just gets
Yes, it
better
is.
every day.
Exactly. So we'll be talking soon on what that looks like.
Yeah, because we have to book
For
the
the
next
middle
year.
school,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Guess we just yelled it all up and stopped.
So, Mr. President, that does conclude officially our recognition. Thanks for allowing us to visit one item of information this evening. So, turn it back to Lisa.
All right, board members, we're gonna skip over one on the consent agenda. We'll come back to it. But citizens to be heard will be next. Mr. Rodriguez, you have anybody wanting to speak tonight?
They got people coming in too. They don't know. That was on a live.
Oh, okay.
Let the principals come in.
And let everybody come back in.
Let the rest of them come in.
The principals that are all waiting.
The other ones come in. Let the principals all come in.
He's working on it. Roger, but I don't trust him. He probably won't hit record or something.
Lock the door.
There's Lord's call.
I recognize all these faces coming in.
Yeah, they've been hiding somewhere. All right, it looks like we're about settled. Mr. Rodriguez? Gosh, I recognize that face.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be here on Citizens to be Heard. I'm Adriana Rocha Garcia, and I'm here today because I wanted to ask a small favor of the district. And as some of you all know, I'm running for City Council for District 4. Thank you. So, I'm a proud product of the district from kindergarten through high school, and my son graduated last year from Southwest High School as well. And I really believe in our community. And the small favor that I was coming to ask for today is yesterday, literally less than 24 hours ago, I had a very concerned resident approach me at a meeting, and he was concerned about the safety around Indian Creek. Now, I went to Indian Creek Elementary School, so every time someone says Indian Creek, I perk up right away. My parents live in the area still. And so I asked what the concern was, and he was a little bit concerned about, one, a homeless camp that is behind Indian Creek in an area somewhere, and two, about some of the drug needles that are on the ground. And he was concerned that some kids might be walking home from school. And I hadn't been too aware yet of the homeless situation. So I asked him, well, can I come with you? Can I walk the area? Because I haven't seen it. And I always am a proponent of trying to go out and see what people are talking about. So I'm going to walk with him on Thursday at 11 a.m. And I'm here to ask if any of you or if any of your police members from Southwest ISD would like to join us on that walk. I want to see for myself what's out there, what kind of dangers are out there. And I didn't want to wait because this resident was very specific, and he said, I want to know what you're going to do when you're in office. And I said, I'm not going to wait until I'm in office. And so I remembered that you guys had a school board meeting because I used to come all the time. And I decided to technically sign up as a citizen to be heard and make the invitation to everyone to come out there. And I'd love to work on solving a problem, if there is one, or trying to prevent a problem that might be getting ready to happen, quite frankly. So that's all I'm here to ask for. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope that I can count on your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez, do you have anybody else? No, sir. Okay, thank you. All right, board members, going back to item 4, the consent agenda. You had it in front of you. Do you have questions?
No, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. All right, moving right along, we will move down to items of information, construction update.
Yes, sir. Tonight we have Phase 2 of Southwest High School. Rafael Bedoya and James Nitschke are here to present. And, handout here.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good evening. So I'm doing a board report number 9 tonight, and that carries us to through pay app number 10. That was through the end of February, and that's at 64% complete. As I've mentioned before, this is a little bit misleading based on the work that we're doing and how we're going to dedicate a lot of work effort during the summer. It's a short report today. The areas at the mall, lobby, and health professions right now are at about 90 to 95% complete. Joris has already begun their punch list on their items before we do our walk behind them to kind of catch every little smaller thing that's missing at them. But they've done good work there, so it's looking very nicely. One thing that we had that they had holded on doing was the flooring in the health professions, and the reason was because when they did some testing that are required by the manufacturer, there was a little bit of humidity in there. So the test results have come back, and now they're going to start installing the floor, and James tells me that they're going to start on Monday, so that'll be the last strong effort there that they'll do at the floor that will kind of tie that area together, and hopefully we can walk it soon and turn it over for use. Okay. In the corridors, the second floor corridors have now been complete as far as what VCT is concerned, so all the floors have been done. They still have a little bit of sealing that's going to be done during the summer, but that's because those are hard to reach corridors or they're heavily trafficked during school, so they're going to wait for the summer to do that. And that's pretty much it. They've already started move to the first floor, so they're already occupying a few of the corridors down there to start to address some of the items there. And hopefully by the time we get to the summer, we'll focus on the lobby and the few minor items that we might have still, but everything's been going well so far. No change orders to date, so that's a good sign, so.
The moisture content, is it all right now?
It's better. It's a lot better. It's not ideal for the type of glue that they had originally proposed, but there is a product that can be used for that. So yes, it's ideal for that.
Okay.
And the thing to note there is that they've done tests throughout the whole health professions area, and there's only one particular area that the test was failing. All the other areas were passing, but we don't want to get started because that area could present a problem later on if we don't pay attention to it. So we kind of wait and.
Is this something that'll get better, or you're gonna go ahead and use the
Will
other
get
type
better.
of glue?
The longer we keep the AC running in that space and push that moisture down inside the concrete, it shouldn't be a problem.
I was also gonna just add that the staff and students and everybody have been really great. I know that we took on some other areas. Joris was trying to get ahead of the game so we don't have issues during the summer because there's a lot of work still left to do this summer, but they've been very easygoing and very accommodating to let the construction guys get in there and do what they need to. Joris has done a good job working at night and on the weekends when they need to, so it's been going pretty smooth.
Just disappointed you don't have a picture of the new light. I put up.
There's still some minor adjustments that need to be done. We wanted to present the best picture, so we'll have one for the next visit.
There's a crazy light and all, I just want you to know that. It looked really cool. Different than what we've ever done before.
Well, we got some comments I made, and I said that it was like the dragon's breath, based on how it's coming out, so we'll see. We'll see.
Is this something we have to avoid? Is it dragons walking around in there?
There's a lot of dragons
Lot of
in there
dragons.
based on, yeah.
Is that it?
That's it.
Thomas?
I have other projects, so, yeah.
That's it for us. Thank you all.
Just real quickly, just so y'all know, we have begun the design phase on the natatorium project and phase 3 of the high school. We already had the initial kickoff meetings. We're getting together stakeholder groups to do the schematic design for natatorium and also with the phase 3 to make sure we're getting the areas that need to be touched in that last renovation piece. So those processes have already started. Later tonight we'll be bringing another item for approval on the construction procurement method for high school. So, but on top of that, we also have Southwest High School Stadium. We will be bringing next month for construction documents for the drainage fix that we're doing there, along with, we plan on bringing the expansion of the stadium at Legacy on the visitor side of the football stadium next month. So CEC is diligently working on both of those projects and going to bring those to us. So I don't know if anybody has any questions on any of those, but that's where we stand on the new 2018 bond and stuff.
Thanks. All right, the next thing is the monthly tax report.
Yes, sir, in honor of Brandon,
What? I
92.
thought Will was gonna do this for us.
I don't do taxes.
All right, excuse me.
We're actually running 8% higher at the same time.
8%?
Boy, Will, you should have taken credit for that. You should have jumped at that. All right, financial report, investments, gifts, enrollment, any of that. If y'all have questions, get with the superintendent later. Purchases over 50,000. Do y'all have questions on any of that? Special education status.
Lisa Volke will be briefing us on a question that we had prior to, on the PBMAS, and what were some of the indicators that went ahead and identified some campuses that needed some special needs. And so Lisa's going to give us some more details.
Good evening, Mr. President, board members. So when we had the public hearing, we had questions about what was the special education designation, how was that determined, and what did that mean for us? So the special education determination status appears on the district copy of the taper on the cover page. There are 4 possible designations that a district could receive. Meets requirements is the one, of course, the one we all want. To have that, you have to have an overall average score on PBMAS and the federal status plan of 1.2 or lower. Okay. The next level is needs assistance. So that would be 1.3 up till the next level needs intervention and needs substantial intervention. Our district received a 1.3. So we were just 0.1 from getting meets requirements. So what kind of things happen when you are at that level? Well, both meets requirements districts and needs assistance districts do have to create a plan to address any areas where they are not at a 1 or lower on the PBMES and state special ed plan. If you are at a higher level, needs assistance or needs substantial intervention, you actually have to turn in those plans to TEA, and that's where you could possibly have a TEA visit or audit. So we were at needs assistance with that by 0.1 on our average score. So we were very close to meeting our requirements. So what data do they use? They use all of the PBMES special education indicators, plus they use 4 indicators using the state performance plan. They have an overall state performance plan indicator, how we're doing on that, with 5 indicators from that plan. They have data integrity, which also uses 4 indicators from the state performance plan, uncorrected noncompliance, and then financial audit findings for special ed. So with PBMES, that's where the biggest bulk of our score comes from, because there are 21 indicators that come just from PBMES. Each indicator is giving a performance level of 0 to 4, 0 being the best. That's the one that we would like. So when you break that down, we have our 3 through 8 star passing rate. There's 5 indicators because they break it out by subject. We have our star year after exit from the special ed program for grades 3 through 8. And they break that out by the 5 different subjects. We have our high school EOCs passing rates broken out by the 4 different subjects. Our star alternate 2 participation rate, and we know that this one is higher than the state, but we're okay with that because we want to do what's best for children. And if our children qualify to take star alt, they qualify to take star alt. And we want to do what's best for children. So if we're higher than the state, we're okay with that. And then our special ed annual dropout rate and our special ed graduation rate. And the list continues. The next one is our regular early childhood program rates. So that's how are we instructing students ages 3 to 5 years of age. So we know that this area, as we go into pre-K for all, is going to be impacted greatly because instead of those students that have been identified through Child Find having to qualify to come to pre-K, now they'll all be able to come to pre-K. So that's going to be something that will be able to give more students special ed through inclusive models. Then how much of our children ages 6 to 21 how much time are they spending in a regular ed setting? Are they spending 80% or more of their time in a regular ed setting as opposed to being pulled out? And then how many of our students in that same age bracket are spending 40% or less of their time in a regular ed setting? And then our separate setting rates for the age range of 6 to 21. All of those we get a performance rating on, and they're used for our determination status. When you look at PBMES, there's a few more indicators. These were not given any kind of performance label. They are just report only for our information. Usually with PBMES, they usually do a performance report only for about 2 years, and then it becomes something that we do get a rating on. Things like what we're doing with special ed and OSS and ISS and disciplinary. Okay. Then the state performance plan, they use 5 indicators and look at those combined together for a score, a performance level, and this is looking at disproportionality. Are we disproportionately putting students into special ed based on race or handicapping condition? Are we evaluating them in a timely manner? Are we making sure we're taking care of our child find needs, and we're making sure that our students that are in high school are having those transition plans? Then they put together 4 more for another rating, and this is on our data. Is it reliable, valid, and timely? Are we making sure our IEPs are taken care of on time, that our 3-year-olds have those IEPs in place, that our transition plans are in place? And they give us a rating on that. Then if we had any non-compliance that TA might find, we have to address that. So we get a performance level based on if we had any and how timely we took care of that. And the final indicator was financial audit of how we are spending our special ed money and if TA finds that we have any discrepancies with that. So they take all of those different indicators, put them together, to give us an average score, and that determines our rating.
We're not gonna have a test on this, are we?
I'm gonna try and keep it simple.
Yes.
Have we been graded already?
Yes.
Last year, the first
Yes.
year, and our grade was needs assistance?
So our grade was needs assistance, yes,
Okay.
because we were at 1.3 and not 1.2.
And that caused us to develop a plan.
Even if we would have been at met requirement, we still would have had to have a plan because we had some indicators that were not at 1. Every district has
Is
indicators.
that plan taking place totally within our staff?
Yes.
We didn't bring anybody in for assistance? or anything?
No, we did not.
What happens if we need assistance back-to-back years? Is there a time where we get like
Only if your level of
the
assistance
regular
is
star,
higher.
you know, a campus? Yeah.
Yes, so as long as we say it needs assistance, it's just making that plan and making sure we're working on it. If at the next level up, that would be when we would have to turn it into TA, and then the higher level beyond that, then TA would come visit us to see what we were doing.
So basically, we're one level off the highest level.
Or the best level.
By 0.01, 5.1. There are some artificial things that we could do, what we call low-hanging fruit. We have talked about that with senior staff, but we don't know if that's in alignment with our philosophy about doing what's best for our kids. Much like the so-called cap, artificial cap that was in the state that led to a state corrective action plan. We've normally done what's best. There are some things that I think we need to do in PD so that we are more confident in decisions that are taking place, that there's alignment between those decisions. So yeah, we do better in some areas, yeah. Ultimately, where the majority of our higher levels come from is student performance and the STAR, or special education and the core content areas. And that's where we have the biggest area of improvement. And we are working towards that constantly, trying to get our students to another level. But as far as moving students, if we do think they need to take an alternate, and that's decision-making art, and that we feel that's what should make that determination, and not creating some artificial expectation about that. We want to concentrate on improving special education outcomes on the state assessment, and that's where we put our efforts to assist. But basically, we're one level off the highest level we can, 5.1.
And for those of you that like to look at historical, I have provided you a handout that does have our historical for each of those indicators.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, ma'am. All right, moving right along. Item 7 will postpone to after executive session. Item 8, human resources.
Yes, sir. We have Jesse Garcia here to talk to us about the scholarship committee.
Good evening, board members.
Hi, Jesse.
So on March the 7th, right before we left for spring break, the Southwest ISD District Scholarship Committee met. And this year we were looking at what the disbursement options were going to be. And so every year around this time we decide what those disbursement options are going to be. And that is greatly dictated by the number of students that we have apply. So this year, with the addition of Southwest Legacy High School in the first senior class that we had a total of 256 students apply for a scholarship from Southwest ISD Scholarship Committee. 242 of those students qualified. And so the disbursement options this year were a little bit different because of the larger number of students that we had. And so the recommendation that we're bringing from the Southwest ISD Scholarship Committee is that we award 4 $2,000 scholarships, 4 $1,000 scholarships, and 234 $530 scholarships to our students. And so we looked at multiple options that we had, but one of the things that made it really challenging was we had 242 students who qualified. Most years we have somewhere between 90 to 120 students. So you can imagine this year with 242 students, the pot of money that we had was a lot smaller that we could divvy up and give to our students. So we also did some research, looked at disbursements all the way back to 2010 and what those numbers look like up until now. And what we saw was that our students were receiving those smaller scholarships, the smaller amounts. So in years past, we've given a large one, a medium-sized one, and a small one. Those smaller scholarships are being used up to the tune of about 75% of the time, while the larger ones, as you would expect with a lot of our students who are in that top 10% and get those larger packages from the college and universities, are kind of sitting in that pot, and those are only used to the tune of about 20%. So we tried to increase that smaller, that third option. So since we had so many students qualify, we wanted to give that smaller option to more kids. If we had stayed big at the top and in the middle, it would have really shrunk that amount for those kids because we had so many kids who qualified. So we shrunk those two options at the high spot and the middle spot so that we could raise that bottom portion and be able to give more money to more of those kids who are in some of those situations where we know they're likely to use those funds. So we're bringing to you tonight that you approve the recommendation from the Southwest ISD Scholarship Committee to award 242 students a total of $142,386.
That's option C.
Yes, ma'am, that is option C on the chart that goes along with it.
Was that like pretty much unanimous from the committee, or did you have a lot of discussion?
It was pretty much unanimous, given the numbers that we had with the students. So we had also gone back and looked at, even if we just gave every student an equal amount, let's say we were to do that, that would only be $567 per student because there is 242 students.
Why the difference?
Southwest Legacy High School, now we have the senior class. And so adding that senior class plus this senior class together, we wound up with a lot more kids qualifying for the scholarship. Where in years past, we were handing out 100 scholarships, and we could give out a lot more.
Being two schools shouldn't make any difference. They were all at one school. There must be something.
We had a lot more students apply this year, sir, so that's true, yes.
Yeah, but didn't we lower the standards too?
No, the standards didn't change, we left them the same.
Oh, we changed something, like,
I believe we
the
changed the
attendance
way that we
rate or
rate we score.
the essays or something?
The composition, the essay part of it,
The essay part, I believe we have more readers and they have a rubric and we're including more scores to make sure that we have I know we had a conversation last year about requesting that there be automatic scholarships at certain levels, or Val, but we looked at that. That was a
Right.
recommendation they wanted to bring to the board either. And I don't think I felt that that's something the board wants to do as well. So.
Jesse, what was the breakdown again for the Legacy and Southwest First for each one?
so altogether, we had 242 students qualify.
How many were Legacy?
I don't have those numbers right offhand, sir. It was, I don't want to say it was exactly even, but it was pretty close, sir. We just had, our counselors did do a really good job of pushing it out there, and we had a lot more kids apply.
Having the two schools and the counselors get to focus a little bit better.
Yes.
It's just easier.
Well, the whole
It's a
reason.
good problem to have, right?
And that was the purpose, to create more opportunities for majority of our students.
Correct.
So we did do that. We had a lot more interest, we had a lot more kids apply, we had a lot more kids qualify.
That's great.
What we did talk about at the end of the meeting, that Jesse knows, that we're gonna go back and look at how we can possibly create additional revenue streams into enhancing the scholarship net amount that we can award each year. That may take some work, but I know that we're planning a big June meeting
Yes.
to really kind of look at historical data and look at some recommendations so we can get more funds available at the end of the year. So what we basically do now is we use what's been reverted back into the account, and we do a 2 or 5 years, and we use 90% of our proceeds that we get from Cordell Gardens. That's what this amount is at the end of the year.
Okay.
Other questions? In a motion?
Just in one quick.
Sure.
So it's $250 one time?
No,
$500
It's $500 one time.
for that group of students who have that $530. That would be a one disbursement.
And is the other one a one-time disbursement also?
For which ones,
The
Mrs. Oakley?
2,000 and the one?
So now they can break those up. Now they can use that $500 per semester until they use it up with the
Can they
larger
do it
ones.
all at once?
I think the way we have it set up right now, I think they get it in disbursements of $500.
We might want to visit that.
Yes, we talked
the
about that
kids
as well.
Go to the more expensive universities or the two-year schools.
Right.
That they were able to Because once they get in there, it's a little bit easier for them to maneuver the,
Right, and we did talk that, so we did call students and we did talk to some students and we spoke to some of the universities, and that was some of the challenges. Of course, the kids with the bigger packages, the universities want them to use up the package they gave them first before they start accessing any outside monies, and that's why those big pots still sit there. But a lot of the students did tell us exactly what you just said, and that's something we'll take back to the committee that says, hey, look, when we get there, you know, it costs X number of dollars. We'd like to get that all in one sum so that we can use it up that first year and not have to worry about our financial status for that whole school year cost.
$1,200 divided by 4,
no, that's one time.
that's one time.
One time.
It is one time.
Yes, sir.
Period. These
Yeah,
other ones.
the other one.
Correct.
I got it, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anything else? Need a motion?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Class size exemption.
Yes, we have Mr. Adrian Ramirez.
Good evening, Mr. Frazier, board members. Currently, Big Country Elementary School has one third-grade bilingual classroom with 24 students in it. At this time, it is the only pre-K through fourth grade classroom with that many students, or with that number of students. The others are less than 23. While rerouting to other campuses, to another campus was a possibility, pickup time in the afternoon by district transportation would have been at approximately 4:15 p.m. each day, resulting in the student arriving home later than usual. So at this time, what we're requesting is that because that particular classroom does have 24 and is sitting at 24 for I think the 22nd day today, we are recommending that the board approve a submission to TEA of a class size exemption waiver for Big Country Elementary.
Questions? Comments?
I so move.
Well, I had a question. Have we thought about just splitting the class and just getting another teacher, or that's just too small of a class, or what?
We looked at a couple of options. That was one option. One concern that came up was the continuity, the students staying with the same teacher for the remainder of the school year. Correct. So, and then of course the other students too that would actually be moved as well. You know, if they were to be moved as a group. So.
Kind of late in.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Truancy prevention.
Okay.
Boy, you got all kinds of paperwork there.
Yes, sir.
We don't have to memorize though, right?
No.
Thank you, sir.
The Office of the Governor's Public Safety Office recently announced funding for the Criminal Justice Division for the Truancy Prevention and Intervention Program for the year 2019-2020. This, or for fiscal year 2020. They announced a grant through the Criminal Justice Division. This grant would provide funding through reimbursement for a truancy prevention and intervention program that would benefit all campuses and students in Southwest ISD. This grant would allow for the hiring of 7 juvenile case managers who would be assigned to specific campuses. Their roles would be to work closely with students, parents, and campus attendance teams to increase student attendance and prevent chronic absenteeism that would result in loss of credits and dropping out. Case managers would develop and utilize new interventions and continue using existing interventions aligned with current initiatives and programs in our district. The grant would also allow for the hiring of one coordinator to oversee the efforts of all 7 case managers. The ultimate goal would be to increase student attendance rates across the district, across all campuses, and increase student achievement and prevent student dropouts. Approval of the related resolution is part of the grant submission also. So what we are recommending is that the board approve submission of both the application and the resolution for the Truancy Prevention and Intervention Program grant.
Are these 7 or I guess 8 people, they would be Southwest employees?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happens when the grant runs out? We just don't have them anymore?
We'd have to reapply for, if there is an opportunity to reapply for the grant, then we'd have to reapply.
Is this only 1 year?
This is 1 year.
These positions would be tied specifically to the grant. We currently hired 4. We call visiting teacher truancy officers in our district. They do a great job of moving this documentation. This opportunity, grant opportunity will allow us to put these 7 on top of the 4 that we already have, and so we'll have a lot of folks working towards this. We have every reason to think that the grant will be available again the next year. You have to reply annually. But in the event that this grant, we're not funded, this position could be applied directly to it.
How much money is that?
It's $618,886.23.
About 88,000 each, more or less. It's about 88,000 each, more or less.
What's our attendance percentage right now?
Right now, 94.7.
And how does that compare to other districts, or, I mean, are we kind of in the ballpark, are we
We're actually, we're kind of in the ballpark, probably a little ahead of some of the other districts. We did actually get some information from a gentleman who's actually applied for the grant as well, about other districts utilizing some of the same people to do some similar work through the grant program. So, the way we would actually use these people here would be to really push out services and to really make services available to parents. The thinking is that we worry about some of them not really knowing what's available to them, and we really push that, so communicating
How
that.
many students are we going to target, or, do we have numbers?
We did actually indicate here how many people we would actually be targeting per campus, and I believe we had said, we actually had truancy officers be a part of the outcome measures that were actually submitted for the grant, so, and I can get you specific numbers here.
I'm just
That's-
wondering, so we have 4 already that do the work. and
Yes, ma'am.
Are they terribly overburdened already, or is there more, I guess, more students than they can wrap their arms around?
I think having more people, I think they do a good job of managing the caseloads that they have. I think they do an awesome job of doing that. I think spending more time with them, I think would kind of probably get us better results. I think being able to spend, more quality time with them, really talking about what, the obstacles are to coming to school, what those barriers are, I think that would really be one of the benefits of bringing more people on board, just more time with them, and even a greater, looking at a greater depth at the services that are out there. What can we, instead of just referring them and hoping that they're going to go out there.
No follow-up, or limited
Exactly.
follow-up, I guess.
Exactly. It kind of provides for additional follow-up. Yes, ma'am.
So, I'm looking here at like the salary or whatever. Are these people gonna make more than what we pay our visiting teachers now? Are we the ones that are gonna set the salary for these people?
It'd be the same salary scale that we currently use for a teacher.
Okay, so just because it says $69,845 doesn't mean we're gonna pay them $69,000. Okay, so they're not gonna dictate what salary that we're gonna pay, okay. And then it says we're responsible for matching funds, but I don't see any on the chart. Do we have any funds that we're gonna have to match?
It's reimbursement. There's no funds that need to be matched, but it's on reimbursement, so.
Okay.
And we are looking at, as part of the output measure, we indicate that there would be approximately 31 100 hours of service. So, number of youth served, currently 427. Number of program youth served and considered truant prior to this period, 1,450. So there are various outcome measures that we're going to look at that exist right now for us that'll hopefully help us impact future numbers.
You're gonna redistribute the caseload, basically.
Correct. And what we're doing is we're hoping to actually place a case manager on each of the secondary campuses, and then have them also work with the elementary feeder schools
That was my
because
question. I was wondering if they were assigned to a campus.
right now we currently have truancy officers that are assigned to specific high schools, and they are assigned to the middle schools that actually feed into those high schools, and it's the same thing with the elementary campuses as well. The reason why we've done it that way is so that we get to know the families, and we get to know kind of, what patterns may exist, maybe the services that are being provided to one sibling maybe need to be provided to others. So it really helps us know the families a little bit more. And by doing this, we're hoping to create an even greater sense of family and support. Yes.
I think what we'd like to do too is invite any of our trustees who can make, the next time we do an attendance diversion class, I think it's really something, you'd be astonished at the number of students who have in excess of 30 plus absences in a school year. It's really surprising. Going to the diversion meeting gives you a great understanding of some of the issues that the families have to contend with, and thinking that junior may be in school and junior's not coming to school and they're finding out for the first time. But there's no one actually going out to the families who are not showing up at the diversion meeting. And so while we're doing this job over here with the folks here, we're trying to come in compliance and make sure that we're part of the process before it turns into the judicial process. We're really not able to go beyond that because there is such a good. I think having these 7 folks on top of why we have them, number one, it's going to create more feet on the street. It's going to create more processes that we have and how we connect with those families at home. What can we do to provide them services so it doesn't turn into a punitive environment.
Right.
It's more of a proactive. It's important to come to school just not only because it's the law, but because there's a future at the end of that road.
Well, I guess because, and I guess that's probably one of the disconnects, and probably why you're getting a lot of questions from me. I don't know about Ida, but it just seems, it's even I guess you call it a juvenile case manager, or a truancy thing. It sounds,
Harsh.
instead of like, we're really looking at more like a social worker type of work, right? What they're gonna be doing. It's not gonna be hunt them down, find them, force them back to school. It's gonna be go find these families, what's happening, why it's happening, and how can we help you do better, right? So.
I'd like to attend that so that we can better understand the issues.
And I like that we call our truancy teachers, we call them visiting teachers, and I think that kind of diffuses.
I think we changed it last year. I'm not sure. And I think that was my recommendation in the conversation I had with the visiting teachers. A lot of the times the parents didn't understand when they would show up at home.
What that meant.
You have to go through the process of explaining what it is. I understand what you're saying. I agree with it.
So what is it now then?
I believe we call them truancy officers, or truancy.
That's better.
Truancy officers.
That's not, well, I mean, you gotta know your kid's in trouble. If you're a visiting teacher, they're probably thinking, oh, you must need more help at school. You're gonna teach me something.
Oh, no, the tutors showed up when they helped them.
That's what I thought visiting.
Yeah, but I think it would be, I think maybe some families might shut down a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm here to help you, but, right, so, I don't know, that's just a.
Is it the same thing as a home-based teacher where the student has to be home? No, right?
No, ma'am. No.
Yeah, I thought it was that.
Anything else?
First, that's what I thought.
No, sir. That's it.
Need a motion?
I move.
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moving to business and financing, the delivery method for Phase 3.
Yes, sir. We're seeking approval on the construction delivery method for the Southwest High School Phase 3 renovation project. District staff and Fluid Architects has talked it over. We believe that, like we did Phase 2, because of the fact that it is going to be a phased project and an active campus, it's in the best interest and the best value to the district to go ahead and use the CM at risk procurement method. So we've listed here what the points are on the criteria for y'all's viewing and approval. And so our recommendation from Southwest ISD staff and Fluger Architects is that we recommend the board approve construction manager at risk method as a delivery method of the Southwest High School Phase 3 renovation project. The estimated budget for this project is approximately $14.5 million and will be funded by the 2018 bond.
Questions? Anybody? Need a motion?
I so move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Moving down to our superintendent's 3 questions.
Your last strike.
I gave you an extra time. You usually only have 2 things. We're giving you 3 tonight.
Just a reminder to all that Thursday, March 21st, Whitewood Park Elementary will be having a community meeting, a informational meeting about some of the work projects that we have been doing here somewhere. Do you want to say anything about that?
No, just going to say how you guys have started at the brown bag, and so they'll be making some decisions regarding the park and just giving the community regarding the garden space.
What's the date?
We also have a rental outreach institute that's being presented by our bilingual department, Mr. Gonzalez and company. That's taking place Friday, March 22nd at the CNI building, from 8:15 in the morning to 1 p.m. If we have any interest, connect with me, I'll connect you to Israel. And if you have not been able to ever attend lately, we call off the art show. I know Mr. Flores and his teachers do a pretty phenomenal job, and our partnership with Palo Alto is they really treat our kids like they should be treated, like artists. They display their work there, so March 26th at 6 p.m. if people need to buy there for a viewing of art up on the wall, and have an opportunity to see our students present their work. I know that we got a lot of want to say anything else about that. Who was here earlier? No, Richard, I know he's not down.
He had to leave early.
He's always here.
I know. I think his wife had a function.
Okay. And you have a list in front of you of the fine arts upcoming events.
Yep.
And the dates, so I believe that's going to be there. And I know that Mr. Hernandez did reference the tragic event involving one of our former students, Joseph Soda. So you guys know that Mr. Chris was up that way. He's actually at Holbrook right now, but he'll be going back that way. He's really close friends with the family, help the family out. We're also doing a fundraiser in the parking lot here. Some of our community members and some of our coaches have gotten together. They're going to be using the parking lot out here, so if you have an opportunity, that information should be coming out. But, your thoughts and your prayers towards Mr. family and Joseph.
Saturday, Saturday.
It's Saturday.
Yeah.
Can I ask a
No, you didn't say the information will be coming out. It's going to be Saturday.
Okay,
But
Saturday.
Janice, did you by any chance get that information? About the fundraiser on Saturday?
Yes, I can send that to you.
Can you, well, no, but can you post it on our on the school website?
Yeah, we can do that.
Can we do that? And Twitter and everything? Okay.
How about the first?
I know that the news came out, did a live at 6 p.m. today at our baseball field, and so I believe that story is kind of getting outside. As we get to the greater San Antonio. All I have, one more thing.
3 more things. You moved up.
Did you say 3
Anybody
more
have
things?
anything?
Did you say 3 more things?
3 more things.
3 more things.
All right, let me read these numbers. Under Texas Government Code 551.001-551.146, we go into executive session. Regular session, and it's 8:02, and we go to item 10, Superintendent's recommendation on personnel.
Move we approve the superintendent's recommendation
I have a second?
Oh, second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Sorry.
Got two more things.
One.
No, and thank you guys, and thank everybody for being there. Extra Place is a really good April calendar of events. Selena, somebody, whoever puts this over there, a lot of events going
A
on.
lot of hard work there, I tell you.
Yeah, to organize all the things for us. There's a lot of activity in April and May, so you're invited to anything and everything, and we'd always love to have you if you can make them. Thank you for everything you do, and no, I don't have any more than that.
Anybody? All right, we're adjourned at 8:04.